So Hecky, I just wanted to start by asking you, what has this week sort of looked like for you and the players coming off the back of Millwall and leading up to Oxford?
Yeah, it's slightly different because it's a Friday night game, so the schedule of the week's different, but we used Sunday and Monday to get everyone who played the minutes ready for training Wednesday, and also the boys who needed minutes. We've got some coming back from injury, some who've not had a lot of game time, some who are just in the building trying to learn how we play and want to impress. So we had a little in-house game on Monday, and then all started back in preparation for Oxford yesterday.
And what do you sort of learn from those things, like in-house games and stuff like that, different things that you do with the lads? What can you learn from that each time you have something like that going on?
Well, we'll always try and have certain objectives in it, but it's difficult. I put myself back to when I played him, then I won't make a negative judgment on players, but I'll certainly make positive ones on how they apply themselves, how are they understanding the tactical element, what their team's trying to do, that type of thing. So yeah, that's where it is. But the biggest one, which we want to get across and which is really, really important, because between now and the end of the season we might not have the time, is more match minutes and getting people ready, like so the ones who need it, who haven't been playing first team football regular for whatever reasons that might be.
So Lewis, we're entering the final 10 matches of this season. Does it sort of feel like this year's just flashed by a bit?
Yeah, to be fair, I think it's gone fairly quick. I think it's been very enjoyable as well. So, you know, they say time flies when you're having fun. So I think it's gone really quick, and it's a massive end to the season now, and hopefully we can push on.
When you reflect on your season personally, you know, the goals and assists, the tally you've managed to rack up, how do you reflect on it so far? You're really pleased, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how it's gone so far, but I think the last few games, you know, I think I can improve my performances. I think there's been too many games that have passed me by almost, and, you know, I want to be as effective as possible, and I want to be a player that, you know, this team can rely on and, you know, look to when you need that special moment. So I think it's been a good season overall, but I think I'm definitely in form that needs to be improved.
Small looks to chip to the far post. Story getting round. Gets it. And Preston North End take the lead here at the Kassam Stadium. A belated celebration from the away end.
And at this stage in the season, when you've had so many training sessions now, when you look back to the start of the season, how do you keep developing your sessions and keep things fresh for the players so they keep in and you're always testing them with new things?
Yeah, that's a good question, because it's with the scheduling of the Championship, it's the next game. So, like I said, Sunday, Monday was debriefing things we did well and want to improve on, and which were important from the Millwall game. Trying to really prioritise based on how we think Oxford will play, what is going to be important again. And then getting everyone in the right physical condition, whatever that they need, whatever they've been doing before, ready for, like I said yesterday, and then it's more a tactical element about how we want to play from then. So the games and the opposition dictate so many of your sessions, but when you do get opportunities, I think you're prioritising fitness, you're prioritising technical elements for certain players' positions which are important for them. And overall, just the mentality of the group, making sure that they train with a purpose and no one goes through the motions. And
do you really enjoy that aspect of being a manager, when you constantly look at what you're doing with the lads and how you can keep changing and evolving yourself?
Yeah, no, I do. It's certainly what I always did. I think my role sort of changed a bit in the last few years and become more of a manager and delegating things a bit more. But that's the bit that, I would say I enjoy the most. And it's frustrating when I'm not doing it.
Why do you think personally you've sort of reached another level here this season? You know, your numbers don't lie. You're scoring goals pretty regularly, and you always look dangerous on the pitch. Why do you think that you've been able to almost like go to that next level?
I just think it's consistent minutes, really. You know, having that confidence from the manager is massive. You know, it helps your own confidence in a way, and yeah, it's just being able to go and express myself every weekend, and yeah, I think it's really helped me this season.
And does it also help when you're playing with players you're in the squad that you're sort of on the same wavelength as? You know, we've seen that you're close with some lads in the dressing room. Does that really help on the pitch?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm always building them connections with the other lads. You know, without them, I wouldn't be able to have a platform to play the way I do at the minute. So I think it's massive that we keep building them connections, and hopefully it helps us have a good end to the season.
And looking at the squad situation, obviously we've had lots of players available the past few games. How is that sort of looking now, leading up to Oxford? Is everything still sort of going as planned, or has there been a few players you're looking at that going, maybe they need to, you know, manage their minutes a little bit more coming up to this game?
No, I think everyone's good. I think it's more a case of the ones who, like why we had the game Monday, the ones who we want to get more minutes into, and so that when they're called upon, because they will be needed between now and the end of the season, that they're in as good a place as possible to go and perform.
And what sort of message have you been delivering to the lads after Millwall leading up to Oxford, with the fact that, you know, there is still plenty of football left to play this season?
Listen, every game's an opportunity. Every game's a chance to go and get 3 points. Totally different challenge, and Oxford's game plan for the match tomorrow night, I think, will be vastly different to Millwall's, and that's one of the the things that we all enjoy about this league, how different all the teams are and how they approach games. Doesn't make it any less difficult. That is a fact, and Oxford have been getting some real good results of late, particularly difficult away games.
On to his right, finds Armstrong, who then funneling play through the middle of the pitch. Eventually, Whitman arrives in the form of Valentin. Divine had a standing start. Dobbin gets it back. Locust Jefferson! That's a second for Preston North End, and Daniel Jefferson's hot streak continues here at the Catham. A fifth of the season for the number 9. Alfie Divine paramount to finding a way through Oxford.
Yeah, you know, the last few games have been tough, conceding so late on, but that's football. You know, it's things we need to improve on. We look at it after the games, and it's just different areas we can improve. But like I said, we've had a really good season so far, and I don't doubt that we can get back to our best, and it's still tight, so it's just about pushing ourselves to the limit in these last few games.
And as an attacking player on the pitch, do you enjoy the fact that you are almost a difference maker? How, you know, every player in the team plays their part, but it can come down to you sometimes whether we get that goal that can win us the game.
Yeah, it's nice to have that pressure on you. It means you're doing something right, and yeah, for me it's about improving every attribute of my game and being that player that can hopefully make a difference, because that's what matters in the end. And you know, we want to win as many points as possible towards the end of the season.
And what type of game are you expecting from them? Because it's another new manager who wasn't in last time we played them. So how are you expecting them to be different as a team now from when we played them earlier in the season?
Well, I think their approach away from home and how they've been successful of late, or picking up points of late, has been to concede possession, really deny the opposition space, and then look to be a threat on the counter, and they've been a threat at set plays as well. So I don't think that'll change. So we have to respect that and make sure that we are aware of what their threats are, are prepared for it, and then at the same time, can we hurt them? Be really positive.
And how can we best impose ourselves on the game and be really positive from the start? Obviously, I think they've recently picked up points away at Coventry and Middlesbrough. You know, they said they've got a game plan when they come away from home, and they can do it quite well.
Yeah, they have. I travelled to Middlesbrough to watch them play, and I think the first half they hit the woodwork twice, and Middlesbrough had all the ball, but they had a couple of the best moments, counter-attacks, set plays, and that is their threat, like I said. So we have to make sure that we respect that, because they won't throw that away. They'll try and build on that and keep improving on that. So we have to respect that, but at the same time, we've got to move the ball quickly and make sure we can, if we do have the majority of possession, how we create chances as well ourselves and make them defend more situations than they're comfortable with, and hopefully then you get the chances, create the chances that you need to win.
Always playing under the lights at Deepdale is a special feeling, and obviously with it being on TV, it always has that extra special feeling. So yeah, it'll be a good game. It'll be a tough game also, because you know they're fighting for different things, and we also want to keep in touch with the people above us. So yeah, it'll be a good game, and I'm sure we can get the 3 points.
How does that feel when you get towards the end of the season as a player, and every game sort of has that feeling, because you've got teams at the bottom who have maybe not performed at their best throughout the season, but now they know that they need to scrap for every point. Can you feel that on the pitch?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it can get tense at times, and I think you can see that in some of our play. But this is when the crowd is so important, you know, not to have that nervous energy that translates onto the pitch. So I think if they can just get behind us, we know how special Deepdale can be, and hopefully we can have that this Friday.
And just finally, what type of things has the manager been saying to you after these results that haven't gone our way recently? What has he been saying to you after those games, and then sort of leading up to like Oxford on Friday?
It's just, keep trying to play the way we do. I think when we're at our best, we can beat anyone in this league. So it's about just remembering that and keeping our confidence high. And obviously there's been performances that have been nowhere near good enough, and we know that. We know what we're capable of. So it's just about improving and trying to get better every day.
And last thing I wanted to ask you about now was the fact that the news has come out early today. The playoffs have been extended. 2 more teams will be getting in. I just wanted to know, what are your thoughts about that?
I think it's great. I think we've spoken about it before. I think it's really good. I think it's a positive change for the EFL. I think it'll create more interest, not only during the season, but then at the end, a totally different dynamic. It's been a while since the playoffs have been adjusted, and I think it's a great move, and I can't imagine there were much opposition against it.
And speaking to you, you tasted success in the playoffs when you were playing. How is that occasion? It's great for the fans, and people often say if you could pick before you got promoted, you'd choose to get promoted through the playoffs. Is that something you agree with?
You would, but then if you could pick, you wouldn't have the same adrenaline, you wouldn't have the same, do you know what I mean? That jeopardy is what makes it so rewarding at the end of it. Yeah, listen, I think I'd still rather have a promotion having it done at the 2nd of May. But they are fantastic experiences as a player, manager. I think 4 as a player, 2 as a manager. And I've experienced every bit of it, the different venues as well. So there's nothing better than a big game, and playoff finals, there's nothing bigger. It's like a cup final after 46 rounds and then a semi-final, with the ultimate prize at the end of it. So they are good occasions. Like I said, I think for me, I've said it before, that the playoffs are one of the most, if not the most positive change, I think, in football.